The Social Planning Council put up some money, and the Sir Optimus Club did too, to get us started. And we went to Pinewood Home for the Aged. I believe it was Mrs. Sorensen who was the cook there, and she was very much in favor of helping us. We set up a route. We were going to do a pilot project. We'd gone around, we thought we'll try the church groups to see if that's where we can get the volunteers. And so we spoke to every denomination that existed in the city, and we had some wonderful, keen people who wanted to be part of this program.
We have one route in Fort William, and I think we only had about 8 or 9 people.
Right.
And as you said, this huge number of volunteers, probably 30 or 40 comes to mind, all eager to have a crack at it.
We tried that for 3 months, that pilot
3-month
project.
pilot project, and the first meal went out on November the 11th, 1968.
That's how we
An
could
easy
remember
date to
it.
remember.
It was an exciting time. I remember, I don't know whether I would have been called a coordinator then, but I did make out the route.
Yes.
I used to go on the weekend and set the route up, I suppose, in an efficient way, and see how the home, see the people, because one of the things we insisted is at the phone they must have their doctor's name and a person to call in an emergency. And back then we went right into the house. For some reason they decided that they should be served soup. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Great big thermoses of soup. So this meant the server had to go in and pour, and there were a lot of troubles with the soup.
Well,
But at least you got to see the people, and it was fun. You know, we've come a long way from one route.
Soup and a main meal and a dessert.
Yes.
I think over the years, the biggest problem has been with the equipment.
Yes,
Starting off with
yeah.
a thermos of soup and you know, just from one, I don't know, we've tried about 8 or 10 different things. I'd like to know what they're using now. I'd be interested.
Well, the container lids fit now.
Okay.
They didn't fit back then.
There were a few spills in back seats.
We had nothing to go on. We were flying by the seat of our pants, as it were.
That's right.
We had there was no criteria how to do all this. So it's amazing when we looked at other programs later on that we, you know, they were always amazed that we had all these volunteers and not so many recipients.
And there were so many of those single men. They had come from
But
overseas.
nothing, not even a hot plate in their rooms.
And no family here. They had come out to work in the lumber business, and they had no relatives and nowhere to go, and they were all ending up in these little rooming houses, one single room. No way to cook a meal.
I was delivering a meal on May Street, up in the second story where there were apartments up there, big staircase. And I knocked on the door and there was no answer, and I was sort of stood in the hall, and someone came along and I said, I want to get into this room down here. Well, he said, if you'll climb out this window and go across the roof, you can bang on his window. So I didn't think anything about it. I just opened the window and went across the roof, banged on, and he was happy as a toad. He was deaf.
Oh, goodness.